But he wanted me to look at Gideon for a specific reasoning. The angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon in the wheat field and said, "You great warrior, God is calling you." Gideon said, "Not me. Pick somebody else to do it." I'm paraphrasing. He said, "Not me." That's why I said, many are called, few are chosen. And it was one thing that Gideon said, "I can't, you want me to fight the adversary, you want me to fight the enemy." But in God calling him to fight, it was strategic things that God told Gideon to do. One in particular, he said, "Downsize your army from thousands of men to 300. Gideon said, "No way, we can't win this war, y'all. We can't win this war. We cannot win the war if we downsize, God." God said, "Do you trust me? Downsize from thousands to 300, the hundreds, for sure." He said, "You don't understand what's up against us." Again, what I'm saying, what I just told you again. If there's no opposition, how will you see the miracle? So even though Gideon was hesitant in doing that, he did it. God gave him specific instructions. And my God, he defeated that army, the adversary, with less men. Sometimes I'll have you do things that's out of the ordinary. It doesn't make sense, but just be obedient. And it'll all make sense. Not for your glory, but for my glory, says the Lord. I want to show you and the enemy that's coming up against you how big of a God I am. Now do what I said. He said, leave the job. Don't worry about the next job. Leave it. He said, pack up and leave your hometown. Do it. Don't look for instruction B, C, and D to come after that. Be obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I already got all this figured out. You worried about something I've already figured out. But will you trust me? Will you be obedient? See, people have to understand too, trusting God is not worrying. Worrying is of the enemy. It's hard not to worry, especially if you've been conditioned to worry. You struggle with always hyper vigilancy. You suffer with anxiety. It's hard to really not worry when you've been conditioned to worry. But that's the act of faith. Will you worry? Because I can't move. But you want me to do big things, but you want to act in little faith. You stay focused. Please stay focused. And every day not going to be great. And I know this spiritually. Every time something is about to break through, you will feel the pressure of that in the earthly realm off of the residue that's going on in the spiritual realm. If you're prophetic, you'll feel it. Like, you know something is shifting. You know something is happening. You don't know what it is. You don't know what you're praying for. You don't know what you're crying about. You don't know what it is. Well, you're sensitive to the Spirit. He's trying to warn you and get you prepared for something. And normally when that happens for me, I know something has shifted. And I'm being told to say a changing of the guards. And that's when you get that new promotion. That's when you get the new jobs. That's when you get the things that the enemy said you couldn't have, because there's been a changing of the guards.